The city of Kyoto was for centuries the imperial capital of Japan. Famous for its thousands of temples, it is the cradle of Buddhism in the Japanese archipelago. It was here that this new religion from the continent in the 6th century developed dramatically. On a hill north of the city stands one of the most sacred and secret places in Japan, the Temple of Daitoku-Ji. A monastery built in the 14th century, which still today trains many monks in the millennial practice of Zen Buddhism. In the heart of Daitoku-ji, the day of the apprentice monk begins well before dawn. Gathered for the collective daily prayer, they recite the sutras, the sacred Buddhist texts, under the watchful eye of the Grand Master. The novices here receive one of the most renowned courses in Japan, which can last several years. Zen is considered as the purest form of Buddhism. It returns to Buddha's original teaching, which advocates a return to simplicity and to nature. Dominique Buisson, a writer and photographer, is a specialist of sacred Japanese architecture.
The Daitokuji is one of the most important temples of Zen Buddhism, particularly in Kyoto. It is a monastic complex that promotes this new religion, which arrived in Japan in its most radical form. Here we return to the basis of Buddhism, to a direct form of teaching. Therefore, in the monastic community, we no longer need images, no longer need sacred text, no longer need complicated esotericism. Here, what counts is the teaching from man to man, from master to disciple.
After the morning communal prayer, the apprentices prepare for the most important part of the training, the private meeting with the master. The master will ask a question, a koan, a paradoxical riddle to awaken the intuitive understanding of the student.
The novice arrives with all his doubts, all his fears, all his imperfections, and the master must then start from here to help him reach a state where, potentially, thanks to the koan and thanks to meditation, he may be able to attain this famous satori, this temporary awakening which is close to the true awakening.
To reach enlightenment, that is to say the state of Buddha, requires intense practice, which is declined in each gesture of daily life, even the most insignificant. It must be done with as much fervor as possible to strengthen the ability to concentrate. Meditation is the other essential practice of monks. It takes place in these extremely simple rooms that highlight the geometry of the space and the nobility of the raw materials. Buddhist architecture reaches its purest form with Zen, where nothing is left to chance. An architecture mainly of wood, where the relationship with nature is omnipresent. The sliding partitions create with the exterior frame scenes that constantly evolve with the seasons. The rooms can be adapted to the needs of the monks and are connected by open corridors. These passages have a practical but also symbolic function. They are a metaphor for the different cycles of life. Daitoku-Ji, also known as Ryuho-san, which means Dragon Treasure Mountain, is a gigantic ensemble made of 22 small private temples spread over 23 hectares. Surrounded by their gardens, each of these temples is like a world in itself, a world integrated into nature.
This is a monastery, not a site for visitors. Nevertheless, visitors do have access to three exceptional buildings. The monumental entranceway, which is called the Sanmon, or Mountain Gate, which is followed by a huge building that houses the statue of Buddha, and finally, the preaching room. Thanks to its fabulous acoustics, this room can also exceptionally be used as a concert hall.
This preaching room is called the Hatto. It's a cube of perfect proportion. Today, an exceptional event is being prepared under the complicit gaze of the guardian of the place, the dragon. Tsutomu Yamashita, after a brilliant international percussion career, notably with Mick Jagger, returned to his hometown of Kyoto. He now performs with the monks of Daitoku-Ji and is organizing a unique concert tonight. He became the master of Sanukite, the last to know how to play these stone percussions from another age.
It is for me a prodigious stone that connects me to prayer in Buddhism.
The Sanukite stone is a 13-million-year-old volcanic rock. It was used in the 4th century in China by Buddhist monks to announce the opening ceremonies.
What I finally seek through music is the world of sacred silence. I would like to hear it through the sound of Sanukite. I think that's the basis, the principle of everything. And it is this original principle that triggers inspiration in me. What is necessary to create the sacred silence? A sacred place. And the Hatto of Daitoku-Ji is a space built specifically for sacred silence.